representation matters. You don't realize how important it is till you see someone who looks like me and you. Kitsch Noir is out here. Plus they're black owned. Send high quality cards to show high quality love.
Hey guys, Sherelle here from Kitsch Noir, the award-winning, family-friendly Black British greeting cards and stationery brand. Welcome to the Make It Happen Affirmations podcast. I'll be showing you an activity I do every morning, which I really think leads to a great day and gradually builds your confidence and character. The activity I do takes 10 minutes, and it is simply me speaking out my affirmations out aloud to myself. I encourage you to do the same. I have a selection of affirmations that I carefully choose every month. These run alongside the annual Kitsch Noir calendar and diary. Every month has a signature Kitsch Noir illustration drawn by me and a powerful affirmation to accompany it. At the end of this podcast, myself or a guest will read each affirmation out, then leave a gap for you to repeat it back to yourself. You can say it in your head, but trust me, guys, there's something so special about declaring it out aloud. May's affirmation is, by being my true self, I allow myself to be happy and I inspire others to be as well. This affirmation session is slightly different because today we have a super special someone joining us. I'm so excited and totally honored to introduce my very first guest. Today we have the one and only Ade Hassan. Ade is the founder, designer, and director of luxurious lingerie and hosiery brand Nubian Skin, created especially for people of colour. Happy customers include Jordan Dunn, Winnie Harlow, and Beyonce. Nubian Skin is stocked with renowned retailers such as the House of Fraser, ASOS, Net-a-Porter, and most recently, John Lewis. Ade was also awarded an MBE in 2017. Ade, I think it's safe to say that you are an absolute inspiration and legend. Thank you for joining me today. How are you?
Thank you so much. Those are really lovely words. I'm doing very, very well. Thank you.
Great. And how has this year been for you so far?
Let's see. Well, 2021 has been, I suppose it's had its challenges because it's sort of an extension of 2020.
Exactly.
So there's that. But overall, it's been, one of hope, sort of hope that hopefully we're moving past the worst of things and hope that, that life will slowly but surely start to resemble some form of what it was before.
Yes, definitely a year of hope and faith so far. So I remember meeting you for the first time in 2017 when I was just building the idea of Kitsch Noir, but I know you've been running your business since 2014, and since then things have definitely progressed and you've definitely expanded and you've got a bigger team now. What is your role right now and what do you do at Nubian Skin?
Well, I suppose, first of all, the team still feels very, very small. We're still a very tight team, but and I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, but luckily I do have an amazing team that can that picks up a lot of the slack. And so I'm the founder and CEO and also the creative director.
Mm-hmm. Okay, amazing. I hope to be all of those things with a small team like yours one day as well.
Well, you are doing phenomenally because I remember when we met in 2017 and it has been just so wonderful and so inspiring and so great to see everything that you've developed with Kitsch Noir and seen all the wins that you've had. So
thank you so much. So much has happened since then, but it still feels like yesterday, which is crazy. I read in one of your interviews that receiving a birthday card from your friend completely transformed your career. This has obviously resonated with me because I'm so invested in showing people the importance of sending and buying cards. So tell us a bit about that story, and do you still have that card?
Yes, I do still have that card. And it was 2013. And I remember I got a birthday card a little bit late, about 2 weeks late. So it was in May. My birthday's in April. And it was a card from a really good friend, one of the very few friends that I'd shared the idea with Nubian Skin with. And across the front, it said, "It's time to start living the life you've always imagined." And on the inside, she just had written a really lovely note about how she believed in me, believed in the idea, and was so excited to see it become a success. And that was, I'd been working on the business, but I hadn't really put my foot, down on the pedal. And that was really the push that I needed to really get going with everything.
Amazing. It's so important to send cards to people and to keep those cards that have those special memories in as well.
Absolutely.
So when I had read that, I was like, see, I knew there was a power in cards. I knew it. But I know that from keeping cards where my friends have sent stuff like that to me as well. And I look back and it's such a nice memory.
Exactly.
Talking of cards, what is your favorite Kitchener card right now?
Well, my favorite quiche noir card right now is the I Jollof You.
It's a lot of favorites. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And being a Nigerian, being a big fan of jollof rice, I just think it's just very, very cute. And I think you do that so well with your cards. You just sort of, you've just got your finger on the pulse and things that people just go, yes, I love that. So
thank you. No, I love cheesy jokes. I love puns. So whenever I get one, I'm just like, right, have to draw that, have to write that down. So that's exactly what happened with that card. This month's affirmation, as I mentioned earlier, is all about being your true self. What I love about both of our brands is that we focus on encouraging Black women and men to be completely comfortable in their own skin. Growing up, would you say you've always been comfortable in your own skin, or is it something that you feel like you've had to learn?
So growing up, I have always felt comfortable in my own skin, and I know that there's a lot of people who don't have that experience, but I definitely did. I was, to me, the most beautiful woman in the world was my mother, and she had just a brilliant confidence and just, and I think seeing her and seeing her confidence and, having her and my father tell me that I was beautiful and really, I mean, they encouraged me and they uplifted me and, emotionally, about my looks, about my intelligence. And so them being, and it wasn't even it just came so naturally to them, but that really instilled a sense in me, strong confidence in my skin. And so I'm so appreciative to them for that, because I don't know how they did it, but they did. They did. And it's been a major impact to my life.
And what does being your true self mean to you?
I think sometimes it's, and then it's the way the world works. People want to fit you into a box. So, whether that's like, are you, people always tell you type A, are you, left brain, right brain, people like to be able to fit people into a box. And I think being true to yourself is really just accepting that, who you are, your background, your heritage, and being comfortable with that. And also knowing that not one particular thing defines you, and that you can have lots of contradictions in yourself. You can be liberal and religious. You can be traditional, but very, very avant-garde as well. So it's just kind of embracing all of the different contradictions and dichotomies and things that make you who you are.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like it's about knowing your gut and trusting yourself, being honest with yourself as well. Like you said, even if that means it contradicting certain things, but being comfortable with who you are and not feeling like you have to fit in all the time, and just being comfortable with the fact that not all things are for you, and it's okay if you don't like certain things, even though you might have been told that you're supposed to, and like you said, fitting into a box of what society tells you that you have to be. So I definitely agree that being your true self is just being comfortable with knowing yourself, really.
Yeah,
So,
and being
yeah.
open to evolution, right? Like being open to the fact that you will change over time. And just because you were one way, a year ago doesn't mean you need to, in fact, you shouldn't be the same. You should constantly be learning and evolving and refining yourself. So just being open to the journey. You don't have to be static, and you can sort of learn to, even if you are going through a time of discovery, learn to sit comfortably with that, or at least be open to it, what it's teaching you.
Definitely. And what would you say helps you with your confidence?
So I think, well, obviously I mentioned before, my parents had a huge impact in that. And I give them so much credit for that, because I remember, being young, having questions about things, and my parents were, they were like, brilliant, you've got questions, great, it's good to be inquisitive. They praised me a lot, which had which really does help your confidence, and also they listen to me, which is so sometimes, and all children are different, but I remember sometimes if my parents approach things a certain way and that didn't work for me, I would be very vocal about saying, I do not like you doing that. And they took that on board. And so I think, especially growing up, my parents definitely had a huge impact. And then they also, I think, being given space to make my own decisions also has helped build my confidence, because there have been some big decisions I've had to make, as we all do, as we grow up and as we enter adulthood. And I remember there were times where I just wanted somebody else to give me the answer. And one of them being, I remember when I was choosing where to go to university, I just said to my mum, I said, Mum, just where should I go? I don't know where to go. Tell me. And she looked at me and she said, I cannot do that for you. You need to make that decision yourself. And so being given the space to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes, always knowing that, at least for me, always knowing that, I had a solid foundation, which was my family, has been instrumental for me. And then also a big part of I think confidence for me comes from faith, just belief in God and belief that he has a plan for me and guides me. And that's whenever I do feel like I'm not on solid ground, returning to that's home base for me. That really does sort of shore me up.
No, that's amazing. I can definitely relate to both of those things of giving you confidence as well. But I didn't even realize until you said it, but definitely feeling that your voice is heard when you're growing up as a child is probably the biggest thing that can give you confidence, because when you're around adults, I feel like you tend to think that everything that they say is right. But then if you sort of question it or go against it and you're actually listened to and there's a discussion after it, that gives you a sense of confidence of, oh, maybe what I do say or what I do ask is of quality, or, it's worth having a conversation about, rather than just being shut down straight away or feeling like you can't voice your opinion.
Absolutely.
So I think that is a great parenting skill that we can both pick up and translate to our children. Even though I don't have a child
hoping. Well, one day, and I really hope that I can replicate it with my son, because I can see the benefit of it, and as you say, I think it is, it's a huge part of developing a child's confidence.
Yeah, that is super interesting. I love asking this next question, as I'm always so interested in people's different lifestyles. What is an absolutely non-negotiable part of your morning or daily routine?
You know what? I would love to say it's completely non-negotiable, but sometimes it things drop off, as they do. But in order for me to feel, and I can tell when I don't do it, that I get knocked off course. but it's really important for me to have quiet time to myself at the beginning of the day, and this has been a challenge, especially when you have a baby.
Yeah.
But I really take time to wake up, say my prayers, read scripture, and have quiet time and write in my journal, because it helps ground me. And even if everything else around me is chaos, just knowing that I've taken, even if it's 15 minutes for myself, just to clear my brain and sort of ground myself, makes a huge difference. And so I do try as best as I can to implement that, because when I don't do it, it's very, very obvious. Having time to reflect, it puts a lot of things into perspective, and really, really helps me. So yeah, I would say that is just having that morning routine, that time of quiet reflection, is really important to me.
And you can definitely tell when your morning hasn't started like that, can't you? Things just tend to go downhill, and you wish you could just rewind the day. No, I could definitely relate to that in terms of praying and just having quiet time. And then I also like to do affirmations as well. So I'm like, the first thing that I hear in the morning is me declaring my statements out loud, saying what I am, what I'm not scared of, what I'm not fearful of. Just putting that out into the universe is like a major thing for me to do. But also praying as well is definitely a big part of my life, and something that I want to become even more part of my routine. So definitely thank you for sharing that. When you do have one of those days where your day hasn't started exactly how you wanted it to be, how do you stay positive, or how do you get yourself back into being motivated again?
So I do find that sometimes when everything just sort of goes a bit crazy, I find it helpful just to take a moment, and just, maybe just breathe, take some deep breaths. And one of the things that I have been trying to remember, especially for the middle of last year, because obviously last year was just a very difficult year, and I sort of really relied on a mantra, which was faith, hope, and gratitude. And just remembering that has always sort of helps me put things into perspective, especially the gratitude. And if all else fails, I usually will just call my sister.
Oh, yeah, the same with my best
better.
friend. Yeah. No, definitely. I even tried to like take the stress off my best friend by not calling too much, because I find that I call quite a lot when I get stressed. But something that I like to do as well is just literally just lock off for like 10 minutes and just be horizontal and just breathe. Like what you said, just lie down and just think, let me just not think about this for 10 minutes. And then just get back up. And I'm usually a little bit better after that, and just say some things in my head like, you can do it, you're fine, you're happy, you'll get through it. So yeah, just 10 minutes out is what I need to do when I get to a point like that.
And I've got this amazing meditation app, and it has like 10-minute meditations, and so that's super helpful as well.
So I've asked you to take over the affirmation section today, based on the May affirmation. From the statements that you have chosen, which one is most important to you and why? So you're going to give us a sneak peek of one of your affirmations right now.
Probably I would say the most important one for me is I am blessed.
That is a truly powerful one, and something I like to remind myself every single day as well. So I literally cannot wait to hear the rest of them. So let's jump right into it. This is Ade Hassan taking over the Make It Happen affirmation session. Take it away, Ade.
Okay. I am creative. I am grateful. I am hardworking. I am mindful. I am joyful. I am organized. I am healthy. I am loving. I am loved. I am faithful. I am successful. I am hopeful. I am blessed.
Wow, thank you so much, Ade. They were all so meaningful, and I cannot wait to speak them into existence every single day throughout May. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And where can people connect with you after this episode?
Of course. So for me personally, I'm at It's Ade Hassan on Instagram, and for Nubian Skin, you can find us at nubianskin.com, and all of our social media handles are at Nubian Skin. So that's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I hope you check us out.
Thank you so much, Ade. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. Hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I have. Please do continue to listen to the affirmations every morning or for as long as it serves you. If you think any family or friends will benefit from these affirmations, please do share it. And if you're not already, follow me on Spotify, Instagram, or Twitter at Kitschnoir. That's KITSCHNOIR. You can also check out my amazing greeting cards and stationery, or contact me with any comments, questions, or suggestions through my website, kitschnoir.com. And remember to always embrace, encourage, and empower. See you next month, guys. Thank you.
Representation matters. You don't realize how important it is till you see someone who looks like me and you. Kitschnoir is out here. Plus they're black owned. Send high quality cards to show high quality